Okay, hello everybody. I'm going to be teaching you how to convert percent to fraction and fraction to percent. So the first thing that I did for you is organize this lesson into two parts. So percent to fraction and fraction to percent. Okay, the first thing that we got to know, what we got to remember is that a percent is a special fraction out of 100. So on the left side, we're converting a percent, which is a special fraction out of 100, to a simplified fraction. And over here, we're starting off with a fraction and converting it to that special fraction out of 100. We're working backwards over here. Okay. So the first example will be 20%. If I have this number, okay, and I'm being asked to convert this to an equivalent fraction, a simplified fraction, I would then have to think about the order of my steps. So what's the first step? Okay, the first step is to understand that a percentage can be written as a fraction already out of 100. You would have to rewrite it this way. Okay, the second step is to understand that when you're being asked to make a fraction out of this fraction, that's called equivalent fractions. You're manipulating this fraction in a way that you get an equal fraction but with a different denominator. So the second step is to write that equal sign and then make that equivalent fraction on the side. Okay, in this case, we don't know what denominator we're gonna be working with because I'm simplifying this fraction. Okay, so here's the third step. The third step is to write out your factors to 20 and 100. This will help me find that common factor to divide the numerator and the denominator by, because simplifying means you're making it simpler, making this big fraction to something smaller that people understand better. Instead of saying 60 out of 120 people liked ice cream, chocolate ice cream, it's easier to communicate that, oh, half of the people in my study like chocolate ice cream. You communicate half to a person, they have a better idea than saying a large fraction. Okay, so that's one example of how important this is. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and start writing the factors of 100. I got 25 times 4. I got 50 times 2. I got 20 times 5. And something happened here. Okay, now you can see that there's a 20 here, and there's a 20 up there. Okay, so let's go ahead and write the factors of 20. Well, I got 20 times 1. I got 4 times 5. And 2 times 10, and so on and so forth. But my greatest factor is 20, and I'm choosing the greatest one, so I don't have to keep simplifying anymore. Go straight to the point. So now 20 divided by 20 is 1, and 100 divided by 20 is 5. So here it becomes 1/5. I divided the top by 20 and the bottom by 20 to get 1/5. Now some of you can do that in your head, I'm pretty sure. So if if you do it in your head, you're dividing the top by 20 and the bottom by 20. Now, some of us have to keep organized in our thoughts to really carry out something like this. So writing your factors isn't bad. It's actually a good thing. It's actually a good strategy to find that common factor. So there you go. That's simplifying a fraction. On this other side, we have fraction to percent. So in this case, we're starting off with a fraction other than a fraction out of 100, and we're converting that into a percentage. So I am now rewriting my 1/2 into that equivalent fraction by writing this equal sign because I know it has to be equal to, and then the fraction out of 100. These two things will not be given to you on your assignment. It's something you got to do on your own. Okay, then I want to compare what I did at the beginning, this first example, with this second section. So over here, I went from 100 to 5. It decreased, and as you can see, we divided. Now over here, we're going from 2 to 100, so it increased. I need to multiply. So then I gotta think to myself, what times 2 gives me 100? Over here, we're thinking to ourselves, what can I divide the 100 by to get that simplified fraction? Okay, over here, we're thinking, oh, it increased, so it's multiplying. So 2 times what number gives me 100? So then I think to myself, well, 2 times 5 gives me 10, so then maybe 2 times 50. Okay, and then you can test it out on the side. If you're not very sure, you could do 50 times 2 just to double check. And then you'll see that it does give you 100. Yay! Okay, and so that means what I do to the bottom, I do to the top to make it equivalent, times 50. And then you'll see that you get 50%. Easy.